For the Knicks, all paths lead back to one familiar player, one name that's been linked to the Knicks for the last few years: Donovan Mitchell. And according to reports, the NBA world, the league, is waiting for the Knicks and Leon Rose to make this trade and shake up the Eastern Conference by adding Donovan Mitchell to their roster. And not only that, according to multiple NBA sources, the Knicks are currently monitoring Donovan Mitchell's happiness in Cleveland. And if they feel like it's dropping or waning, they are likely going to pounce to try to add Donovan Mitchell to this roster. We're going to break down all of these reports and so much more today. So be sure you're subscribed to the channel and have notifications turned on so you don't miss a second of the new content. And now, let's get started. According to a report from an NBA insider, the NBA is waiting for the Knicks and Leon Rose to make that trade for Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell and the Knicks have been linked for the last few years, ever since he was in Utah and the Knicks tried to trade for him then. Unfortunately, the Knicks could not get him then, and now he's a Cleveland Cavalier. But that doesn't mean that the reports stop once he reaches Cleveland. If anything, as soon as he got to Cleveland, it seems like the New York media has been monitoring that situation for the New York Knicks, waiting for something to go wrong. And as soon as something goes wrong, or they feel like something's going wrong, they're going to have reports after reports after reports coming out linking Donovan right back to the Knicks. Because let's be honest here, these type of reports are not anything new or not anything to be shocked or surprised about at this point in time. They're a regular type of thing right now in this day and age. Donovan reports to the Knicks come out either every other week or every 2 weeks at this point in time. And with the more the Cleveland Cavaliers do bad, the more they lose, the more they spiral out of control, those reports are only going to get stronger. But let's take a look at exactly what this NBA insider stated and what Bleacher Report stated regarding the Knicks and Donovan Mitchell and Leon Rose. Here's the Bleacher Report headline based on what one NBA insider reported about the Knicks and Donovan Mitchell. Knicks trade rumors. NBA waiting on Rose, Leon Rose that is, to pounce amid Donovan Mitchell buzz. And according to NBA Insider and New York Post NBA columnist Stefan Bondy, he actually outlined the current issues with the Knicks roster amid Quentin Grimes' frustration with his role on the team. And he actually mentioned the Donovan Mitchell situation within his response. Here's exactly what he stated. There clearly needs to be a change, if only because the Knicks can't afford to operate with the current version of Grimes. They didn't make him untouchable in trade negotiations for Donovan Mitchell for this to happen. The first obvious solution is to make that blockbuster we've been hearing about for so long. Clear out the logjam and raise the Knicks ceiling. Rose is sitting on these draft picks, and the NBA universe has been waiting for him to pounce. Shout out to Bleacher Report and Steph Bondy from the New York Post for giving us this major report about the NBA waiting for the Knicks and Leon Rose to make this major move in trading for Donovan Mitchell. And honestly, guys, I gotta say, I'm part of that NBA world waiting for the Knicks to make this move. I've wanted Donovan on the Knicks since he was in Utah, way before there was even reports about him coming to the Knicks. I thought he was box office then. I thought he would help the Knicks then. And even today, I think he would help the Knicks. Now, don't get me wrong. In terms of fit, he's not the best fit. The best fit for the Knicks right now is either a Mikal Bridges type of player or that 3-and-D wing. They need a player like that. OG Anunoby-like player. That's the type of player that fits the Knicks best right now. However, most realistic and could help the Knicks immediately, at least with spacing and three-point shooting, Donovan Mitchell checks those boxes. They want a star? Absolutely checks the box of a star. Shot creator, instant basketball getter. Wherever he wants to get his shot, best believe he can get his shot there whenever he wants. He can get a bucket from wherever he wants to on the court. And if you need somebody, or you can rely on somebody to get their own shot, to get you a bucket when you need them to get you a bucket late game in fourth quarter when the game is on the line, Donovan Mitchell can absolutely do that. Oh, and by the way, somebody else who can also get their own shot from wherever they want to, has elite footwork, and can also show up in fourth quarters, especially during crunch time, is also Jalen Brunson. So if you add Donovan Mitchell and Jalen Brunson on the same squad, you effectively create one of the best NBA backcourts in terms of offensive firepower that there is to speak about in the NBA today. Now, I know some people may be calling it an upgrade or maybe a similar version to CJ and Dame, and I can understand that. But let me say this: Jalen Brunson takes charges like nobody else in the NBA. Pair that with a Donovan Mitchell, who is definitely a great defender, but doesn't get that type of recognition because he's always asked to score the basketball for Cleveland or for Utah when he was playing there. Wherever Donovan Mitchell has been, he's been asked to score the basketball, and he's responded and did what he's asked to do. But I think if other players on the team were helping to score and not leave it all on Donovan Mitchell's shoulders, he would absolutely be a better defender. And Donovan Mitchell playing under Tom Thibodeau, you already know he would be above average in terms of defense just because of that alone. And he plays defense. People think he doesn't, but he actually does. And if you go back and watch his college years, he absolutely played defense. I get that the backcourt would be undersized. I understand that. But just because they're undersized does not mean that they would not be great. And I think, given what that backcourt could do, given that Mitchell Robinson would likely still be on the Knicks, and it would be up to Tom Thibodeau and his coaching staff to make a team work with Jalen and Donovan in it, I have faith that the Knicks could make it work and that that team could push this Knicks team to the next level. Because the Knicks need a scorer like Donovan, a star like Donovan, a shot maker and getter like Donovan on this team in order for them to take the next step in the Eastern Conference. They need that and an elite 3-and-D wing. They can add players like that to this team. This Knicks team is dangerous. Don't get me wrong on that. Oh, and also, Michael Scotto from Hoops Hype did also report that the Knicks were monitoring Donovan Mitchell and his happiness in Cleveland. Let's look at that report as well, too. According to Hoops Hype Michael Scotto, executive teams, including the Knicks, are monitoring Mitchell's happiness in Cleveland and would jump at the opportunity if he was made available. Mitchell's future was brought into question earlier this summer when he declined to sign a long-term deal in Cleveland. As it stands, he's signed through the next season before a $37 million player option arrives in 2025-2026. And Bleacher Report helps double down on this by reporting that the Knicks have been long circled as a possible destination for Mitchell, even after he was traded to Cleveland ahead of the 2022 season. Mitchell has been nothing short of excellent in Cleveland, averaging 27.6 points per game, 5.4 rebounds per game, and 5.3 assists per game, leading the Cavs to a 12-9 record at the moment. Mitchell has yet to sign a long-term contract extension in Cleveland and has a player option for the 2025-2026 season, as we reported earlier with the Michael Scotto report. Where there's smoke, there's absolutely fire. There are a number of NBA insiders and sources now coming out and stating that the Knicks are monitoring Donovan Mitchell and his happiness in Cleveland. They're waiting for the Knicks to make a move to trade for Donovan Mitchell or a star like him. There are all of these paths, all of these directions, all of these reports, but they all seem to point back and lead back to the New York Knicks eventually and potentially trading for Donovan Mitchell. Monitoring his happiness? Absolutely. Once the 76ers were doing what they were doing this year with Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid, we knew Embiid was off the list. Once Minnesota started going off and becoming one of the best teams in the league, we knew Karl Anthony Towns' name was off the list. So we have to look at the most realistic targets right now. Whether or not it happens during the season or not, I think without a doubt, one name, the name really to always watch for the Knicks. It's always been this name, whether you like it or not. Donovan Mitchell to the Knicks has always been the most realistic, and in my opinion, will always be the most realistic trade target for the Knicks in terms of a star player. And it's only a matter of time when the Knicks trade for Donovan. It's only a matter of time before Cleveland understands that there's nothing they can do to retain him, and the best thing they can do is make him available for a trade. And as soon as that happens, what the NBA world is waiting for from Leon Rose and the Knicks will happen. Once he's made available for trade, the Knicks and Leon are going to pounce. They're going to pick up that phone and they're going to see what it takes to get Donovan Mitchell on this Knicks roster. And I think once that happens, they're going to work out a deal that gets Donovan on the Knicks. And a lot of you think that the deal is going to be very expensive. But I argue that if it's in his final year and he hasn't signed an extension, then how much leverage do the Cavs have? How much could they possibly get? I'm not going to say it's going to be a steal for a team. I'm not going to say he's going to come cheap, but he's going to come a lot cheaper than most of you think. And it's not going to cost the significant amount of picks and players that I believe a lot of you believe it's actually going to cost. But that's just my opinion on this situation. However, for me, the good news is that the NBA world is doing exactly what I'm doing, waiting for the Knicks and Leon Rose to trade for Donovan Mitchell. But what about you guys? What do you think about these Donovan Mitchell to the Knicks reports? Are you into them right now? Are you buying them right now? Or for you, are all these reports leading to a trade during this offseason, not during middle of the season? Let me know in the comments below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans. Peace.